Hello and welcome back. Here we have the Geth engineer. So I kind of gassed up my weapons a bit because reasons. For powers, what I'm actually going to be doing is using the Geth turret as a fairly solid source of damage. I don't like the Geth turret quite as much as the Quarian turret, but the flamethrower will will prime fire explosions, and Overload of course will detonate them. Additionally, the flamethrower, because it hits in a cone, will prime multiple targets, and so I'm thinking I might be able to get chain detonations going. So that'll be interesting. Um, Other than that, pretty straightforward stuff. Not doing anything too fancy. But let's see what happens. Usually doesn't take this long. I feel like this is an unusually long amount of time. But so the flamethrower will prime fire explosions, but I do have to make sure that I throw the flamethrower close enough to the enemy for it to actually be in range, because the flamethrower is rather short range in and of itself. Another big thing to keep in mind about the Geth turret as opposed to the Quarian one is while the Quarian one basically fires bullets that hit instantaneously, or near it, the Geth turret fires a projectile that travels like a power projectile would. So your enemies may try to dodge it, I think. I don't know exactly if they will or not. And I think the host is waiting on somebody else to join. I've gotten a few colors for this guy. I do think I am going to go with the Geth scanner though, so that I can see through things. It clutters up the screen, which I'm pretty sure detracts from your visibility as the viewer, but I don't know. I've switched the encoding details since the last time I used it, so I'm hoping it'll turn out alright, and we'll take a look at it and revisit after this game. But we're only starting out with 2 people, so we actually kind of want to take our time on the first couple of rounds, although that depends on what the host does, really. And this is the non-hazard version of this map. However, I am still going to throw the turret out. Another important thing to note is that this turret is fired like a grenade rather than thrown. And we're fighting against Cerberus. That could be challenging. And there you can kind of see the turret firing. Let's see if I can get... The other, for better or worse, Overload also can't be fired around corners, which means that I need direct line of sight on anything that I'm going to try and detonate combos on. Looks like we also have a Geth trooper as well. Oh my god. I should not have gone over there to help him. See, I don't have any metagel or ops packs, so I can't heal myself at all. So putting myself at risk to help teammates is super bad. So the one of the other abilities the Geth gets is called Hunter Mode. I'm generally not fond of that one because it decreases your maximum shields by 50% or something like that. There might be a talent to decrease that effect, A lot of those sorts of talents have something of that nature. But it's still a ton of shields to lose on a character that really only has shields. The Geth have no real health, so when their shields get cut in half, it affects them more than most. Geth turret paying for itself though. And there you can see the fire explosion got the kill, which means that the turret primed it, and I was able to hit him with overload. Just ruin his day. Oh, Christ. I thought I threw the turret out, but I guess I threw it in a bad spot and it fizzled. That can be another thing to watch out for. If you throw the turret in the wrong kind of location, it'll fizzle immediately rather than doing anything. And if you're relying on your turret, that is bad. Like there, it fizzled rather than deploying. But there it did what I wanted it to do. Mostly just sit up in the ledge and be a dick. That worked out pretty well. I think he used throw on it or something. It may have been a warp. But used a power to open up the Guardian shield, and then he trashed the Guardian. And get grabbed. Grabs are pretty nice. If you get something with a grab, it's just immediately dead. There's no further questions asked. Oh my god. Melee in this game feels so clunky sometimes. Yeah, see, he's got hunter mode on. He didn't even kind of have line of sight on this Centurion. But you see that? The arm went through him and it still didn't hit him. To get right up on stuff in melee, I guess. And I still would really like to have a display to tell me the status of my turret. At least whether or not it's alive. Just like highlight the button or something. I hope if they have deployable turrets in Andromeda that that'll be a thing. No, I don't think he got the range upgrade on his flamethrower. Ah, you're shitting me. Of course it's a Dragoon, why wouldn't it be? They're only damn near unmanageable for me. There are many enemies over there. So we're just gonna do this. Including an Atlas. Nice. forgot about the Atlas's detonation, and it took out my shields. That's alright. I lived, which means I get to continue fighting. Okay, so with the drop-off being over here, I want to move forward and try to clear it. The Guardians are pretty difficult for me to deal with. I'm not accurate enough, and my weapon kind of has enough bullet stray that mail slotting them can be troublesome. And my powers are almost useless on them. But I can still throw turrets on the other side of the Guardian. And if I deploy turrets on the far side of them, that can cause some havoc. Also an interesting note, if you watch the kills down in the bottom right, you'll see some kills will say turret or Geth turret, some kills will say sentry turret. If it says Geth turret, it was killed by the primary attack on the turret. If it says sentry, or if it says Geth turret, it was, or if it, let me start over. If it says sentry turret, it's killed by the flamethrower. If it says Geth turret, then it's killed by the primary attack. That wave went pretty well. And because I don't throw projectiles with my powers, I'm actually fairly good at killing phantoms, as you just saw. Overload also gets bonuses to dealing with barriers, and the bulk of their survivability comes from a barrier, which further only amplifies my ability to kill phantoms. Well, I think that Quarian hacked the turret. I shouldn't have destroyed it. But, what are you gonna do? I'll leave the next one alive and let the turret do some work for us. At the very least, though, it still disabled the turret while we killed it, but his group's pretty good at killing. And I see everyone's kind of facing the other direction, so I'm gonna come over here. There's the fiery burst. So I guess I have to take out their shields before the flamethrower on the turret will provide combo priming. Either that or it just doesn't always apply it. I could see that too. Once his missile hit the wall, instead of me. Yeah, overall this is going pretty well right now. Here's hoping it stays that way, you know? But I still feel like... Yeah. The Dragoon's gonna be coming for me. I think the Dragoons are synthetics. And if that's the case, that'll help me kill them a bit more easily. Because Overload always has effect against synthetics. It has a very diminished effect against organics once their shields are down. But against synthetics it always works rather well. And so if the Dragoons are synthetics, then I'll be able to do quite a bit of damage to them all the time. And there you can see Geth turret killed one Centurion, Sentry turret killed another. And fighting this Phantom from around the corner. Alright. Eliminate all targets. And as I mentioned before, this one is probably my favorite. Okay, so I guess I do have more ops packs now. And I guess I just used them all up in the other game. Probably accidentally. Taken down by a Phantom. But it doesn't say executed or bled out. Which means the Phantom didn't outright kill him. Now here an Atlas. I apparently heard 2 Atlases. I actually want it on the far side. And all the targets are down. There's a lot of Guardians. Yeah, the 2 things I really want are the M7 Lancer and the Piercing Rod, so that I can fire it through the Guardian shields. If I could get those, I'd be pretty elated. Being able to just shoot into their shield and kill them anyway would be nice. Yeah, okay, I guess they're not synthetic. He didn't take any damage from that. Alright, so this is what we call missile time. I'm just not dealing with that. And the one Atlas wasn't even in the right angle for it to get hit. That's ridiculous. There were 2 Atlases touching each other, and one of them didn't get hit by the demolition or by the missile. It's not even fair, game. That's just not even fair. I actually got really lucky there, managed to dodge the lash from it. No, she went down to that Dragoon though. And that's what I was saying. If everybody's looking in one direction, you end up flanked all the time. And apparently it doesn't just happen to me. Yeah, 2 seconds on the clock. Geth made it. Nice. But anyway, thank you for joining, and I hope you have a good one.